I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
So the female reproductive system, the Dodge Ram truck logo, and the shark brain all look really similar.
Hey, man.
It's crazy, man.
A little too uncanny.
And they all kind of look like the devil.
You look like the devil.
Devil!
Tim is just playing on
Foosball's
his
the
camera.
devil.
Football. I'm telling you, dude. I think Canadian Steve's a hit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh,
How
so
you
nice of
voiced
you.
that? How you did? Hey guys, I'm back. Oh shit, James, you missed him. Oh, damn it.
It's like JB never gets to meet any of our
I know, that's
any of
so
our
I know,
guests.
what the
It's
hell?
so weird.
I'm always like peeing.
That is so weird, dude. Dude, maybe you should just cork it, bro. Holy shit!
how are
All
you?
this smoke just came in here, and it starts to smell like
Oh,
like a
hello.
sweaty gym locker room. Wait a second.
Hold
Who's
on, I just
here?
got back. I just got back from a dog food trip.
So wait, you were buying like food for your dog?
Oh,
No. I was finding a dog to make a food.
oh to make dog food.
No, to make a dog food.
Dog
So
food.
dog
That
food.
that doesn't make any sense. Wait, are you
Oh,
saying that
you eat a dog.
Oh, okay.
Wow. This is mildly racist and semi-insulting, but I'll continue on with this because I understand.
It's okay.
how many
You
Africans
are
have these bits.
you are also Asian. It's not insensitive.
Wait, I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger's here from Twins. Wait, why is he here?
Get to the chopper.
Hold on. Wait, this is his theme song. Wow, you jack up that volume. Anyways.
That's a lot of
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm back. JB's back.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
JB's
James,
back.
what's up?
You know, it's weird.
Hey,
Like
what's
you
up?
hear this weird gong noise.
It's crazy, dude. It was
You hear
crazy.
It's like
I
it
saw
sounds
a
like
puff
Big
of
Trouble
smoke.
from Little China.
That's a great movie, by the way.
I saw a puff of smoke, and then Shanghai Steve showed up. So weird.
Oh, dude, Shanghai Steve.
no.
I've never met him. I'm always
Have
gone.
you ever met Canadian Steve?
Oh, has Canadian Steve ever
No.
met Shanghai Steve? That's so weird. Now.
Canadian.
I heard Canadians.
Could Canadian Steve?
Heard Canadian
meet
Steve's
Shanghai
really
Steve?
nice though.
He is really nice.
Damn it! I had to
Holy
piss
shit.
again. I've drank so much coffee this morning.
Oh my god, dude! You gotta stop loading up on that caffeine.
All these
bro.
people are stopping by. Like,
I know people can just keep stopping by. It's like San Diego's like a hot spot for international travel.
I gotta be honest with you. This is how far our podcast has reached. I mean, it has literally gone.
We've gone to Shanghai.
nationwide.
We've
It's
gone to
global.
Oaxaca.
That's
yeah,
a
it's
shout out
that's
to our
just
Oaxacan
a
sponsors.
yes, our Oaxacan sponsors and our Puerto Vallartan sponsors.
Oh my god,
I did enjoy my time in Puerto Vallarta. It was
they're gonna see what we're Oaxacan.
bro! I'm not gonna
I
lie
don't
to
even
you.
know
You
where
know,
Oaxaca is. I think it's down like the southern part of Mexico.
You know what I hate
Yeah,
the most, dude? San Diego.
I just like
at
it's
the time.
fun to say Oaxaca.
It's called the Oaxacan Peninsula.
Oaxaca.
We're like,
Bro, you
It's
know
over by
Where,
Belize.
is it?
I think so.
well, that's where Cancun is. That's all the
Yeah.
Oaxacan Peninsula.
Yeah, that's where you get all the Mayan
How
ruins
do
and
you know
stuff.
more about Mexican geography than?
Because I thought Belize was an island somewhere, like Fiji, but then I looked it
Belize.
up and like Belize is
I
just like a
believe I
country.
can fly.
I believe I can
I
fly.
believe I could touch the sky.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to
Think
you.
about
I
it
see
every night and day.
I see somebody blowing me on my phone up, and it's Spring Break Steve. He is here in San Diego. Holy crap!
Whoa, bro.
Whoa! He's already here. Spring Break
What's
Steve.
up, Steve?
Oh my
You
god!
know, it's funny. Spring Break Steve sounds really familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it. Is
Okay.
it
Don't put your finger
I'm
on
so
Spring Break
high
Steve.
right
That's
now. I
gross.
don't even know
like
what
it
you're saying.
sound like what was that movie? Bill and Ted's Excellent Journey. No,
Oh,
Adventure.
dude, you think I sound like Keanu Reeves,
You
bro?
do sound a little bit like Keanu Reeves.
Take the red
Oh,
pill.
bro, it's so awesome. I'm
Oh,
gonna go
no.
shotgun a natty light right now.
Oh, Natty Light, you've moved up in the world. Is Natty Light a step up from PBR?
No, it's a sit down.
Oh,
No, dude, only fucking hipsters drink PBR.
Whoa,
not when we were in
bro.
college. When we were in college, PBR was cool.
You
That's
guys
because hipsters didn't exist when you were in college.
Hipsters didn't
Hipsters
exist.
Hipsters ignite.
You're fucking old, bro.
I am old.
Oh,
I'm
God.
old. Hello, I'm so old. My name is Tim.
Man, Keanu Reeves, what a guy. What a guy. He, honestly, what was he on? He was on one of those late night shows, like Seth or something like that. He was supposed to go by
Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, yeah, or I don't think it was Colbert. I don't know which one it was, but anyways, like his agent was telling him he should go by the name of Chuck Spadina.
Chuck Spadina.
Oh,
Or Casey Reeves or Norman K. Reeves, apparently, were his pseudonyms.
wow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I would have ever wanted him to be called. I don't think The Matrix should have starred Chuck Spadina.
Chuck Spadina.
Chuck Spadina sounds like a porn star name.
This is one thing I did not research. Is Keanu Reeves his actual? I know Reeves is his last name, but is Keanu his real first name?
Keanu is his first name, and it means cool breeze over the mountains in Hawaiian.
That's pretty bad.
Because it's like Keanu was his uncle's middle name.
He was born. Where was he born? He was born in a different country.
Keanu Wanalea. September 2nd, 1964.
And where? Where was he born though?
In Beirut, Lebanon.
Beirut. There we go. Lebanon.
Dude, honestly, I think Steven just means qualified for a home loan. Like that's it. Like, it does not mean anything.
And that's okay because Tim means not qualified for a home loan.
Tim means chapter 11. Tim means chapter 11. Which is really kind of sad.
Tim means living on his friend's couch.
They didn't actually tell me what book it's from, but yeah, apparently there's a chapter 11 in some book. I think it'd be more funny if bankruptcy was chapter 13.
Chapter 13?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe there is a bankruptcy that's chapter 13 because I know chapter 11 is only one of them.
I know.
Chapter 69.
Oh, JB, you're so edgy.
Wow.
Chapter 69.
Yeah.
Spring Break Steve's back, apparently. Not
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, man.
Hold on, let me go shotgun and fuck
So
PBR,
one of the
bro.
things, wow, I can't even do this. One of
Let me
the
rub
things
some
that we
zinc
wanted
oxide
to
on my
do
face.
to add to kind of our repertoire of
Repertoire.
sort of average
Repertory?
Steve motivation, since Steve is we're just gonna go with Steve for everything. Our average Steve motivation is we wanted to talk about people, figures, celebrities who are motivational.
Motivation.
Maybe not necessarily to the public per se, but people who maybe have sort of a motivational story that is less well known.
Well, I think people too that are more that you hear more positive things about. Mainly,
Right. Not
that's
necessarily.
kinda what we're
Okay,
going
so
for.
not necessarily motive. Well, to just to kind of build off of our last episode with overcoming adversity, I think we wanted to kind of stick into that sort of vein. So today we wanted to talk about Keanu Reeves. And this, I think, spawned from a YouTube video that I believe was kind of going around virally. And it touches on a lot of the struggles that Keanu Reeves has been through in his life and how he's overcome it, kind of like a boss, but also in a very humble way, which I think is
super
awesome.
low key way, yeah.
Exactly. I think that's what makes him so awesome is the fact that, you know, he's done a lot of cool stuff and he could have totally put his name on it and broadcast that, but he doesn't. Like, I mean, one of the things
Because he's doing it for the right reasons.
one of the things he's done is, you know, he has a foundation, and I don't even know the name of the foundation because he does not attach his name to it.
Before we go into that, let's
Yes.
kind of start and do this a little bit chronologically.
Fair enough. So, JB, you mentioned he was born in 1964 in Beirut, Lebanon,
September
to
2nd,
a Chinese
Beirut, Lebanon.
Hawaiian father.
What
Yep.
was he doing
And
in Beirut?
Who knows?
yeah, who knows?
Chinese.
His
That's it?
mom was an English.
I hear paper turning. JB's trying really hard.
We're terrible at this. We're not terrible at this.
So what I will say is in this YouTube video, it does mention about. Now I've seen two. I've seen one that just talks about Keanu Reeves, and I've seen one that is actually Keanu Reeves supposedly talking about himself. But again, it's just written down. It's not actually him talking. Apparently, and we should give this. I think this speaks to kind of what we're saying. The one that supposedly is, you know, nobody knows the real me because I'm Keanu Reeves. Like that was not made by him, from what I understand.
No.
And the
Oh,
other
this
one,
whole sad Keanu like persona that the
yeah,
media is
he
trying to
doesn't
push on him.
advertise any of this stuff, and I mean some
No.
of the stuff he kind of glosses over in that, like, yeah, well, JB, I will let you start because the one I was going to go to speaks to his high school issues, but there's something before.
Oh
that.
yeah, he got kicked out, expelled
Well, first
from
of all-
4 high schools.
First of all, he was. I think we should probably start with the fact that allegedly his father left when he was 3.
Okay.
Now, depending on the account that you from what I researched, depending on the account that you believe, it was sometime between the age of 2 and 5. Still the same. I don't think that makes a difference.
Either way, his dad left when he was a little kid.
His
and
dad
the last
left
time
when
he
he was a
saw
little
him
kid.
was when he was 13.
They stayed in touch until he was 13, and I guess he went on vacation to visit his dad. And then I'll read this quote. On our last day, we sat on a veranda and stared at the dark sky. He hardly said anything that evening. The next day, he brought us to the airport. Then we didn't hear anything from him for 10 years. No calls, no letters, nothing. And 10 years after that was probably around the time when Keanu was famous. So that lines up with, I think.
Yeah, when he was in the wild Stallions of Bill and Ted's Excellent
Yeah,
Adventure.
that or like My Private Idaho, because that was right around when he was 23.
Him and River Phoenix.
Him and his best friend, River Phoenix, at the time, who shortly after that movie, he died of a drug overdose.
In front of the Viper Room.
And so like JB said, allegedly he was kicked out of high school. Apparently he went to 4 different high schools. He struggles with dyslexia, which is true. However, he's often said that...
I put the sexy in dyslexia, just so you guys know.
That I was going to say there's no sexy in dyslexia, but because dyslexia is dyslexia, that's kind of funny.
Thanks for just deconstructing that joke.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to deconstruct jokes until the joke is no longer funny.
Hey guys, I thought about this.
So I mean, that is obviously
Tax auditor Steve.
That's obviously a struggle, but I mean, he's in interviews he's talked about how high school wasn't that hard and he didn't do that terribly.
Clearly,
but that
he
could
never
just
went
be
to Dos Pueblos High School.
Well,
in California.
apparently he was because he lived in Canada. So he's born in Beirut, lived in Canada, and
has he met Canadian Steve?
Wow, I bet you they were best friends.
Oh, I don't know. I bet he has.
Oh,
I bet he and Canadian Steve are like best friends. I still need to meet Canadian Steve.
On that.
Yeah, you really do need to meet
or
Canadian
some Toonies.
Steve. He's amazing. If Keanu Reeves was in the Goonies, that would make the Goonies even cooler.
Oh my God! Can you imagine that the whole solar system would implode had Keanu Reeves been in Goonies?
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys! There's a pirate ship over here, bro.
He was one of the Fratellis. He took the old.
I know kung fu.
Hey,
and then
boys.
what is the dude's name? The guy who he's a singer. He was one of the he was in that movie. God, he's he was in Goonies. He was one of the bad dudes.
Not Mandy Patinkin.
No, the other dude.
Joey Pantaleone.
Something like that. Anyways, phenomenal singer, man. Really cool guy. But I digress. So JB, so 23. He started his acting career. I believe at that point he's been in what? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
My Private Idaho.
Which
he was in a Coke commercial. Was like his first thing ever.
River Phoenix was a great actor. I really liked him. I think one of my favorite things he was ever in was when he played young Indiana Jones in Last Crusade.
Did he do that?
Wasn't that him?
I don't know.
Yeah,
JP backed me up on this.
Yeah,
he was
River
young
Phoenix.
Indiana
He
Jones.
absolutely was.
Yeah.
I believe the singer you were thinking of is Robert Davi.
Yes, Robert Davi. Amazing.
Yeah.
Such a cool guy. And he plays such a good bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Singers,
but he has an awesome voice. He's kind of like a throwback, like Frank Sinatra, kind of.
He does a little singing.
That kind of he's kind of operatic in a way.
Yeah, he could totally do opera. But back to Keanu. So at that point he'd kind of started his career. And then River Phoenix, I guess they kind of having a similar kind of similar life.
Well, they're the same age. They lived in
same
Hollywood,
age, yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
young, hot,
and they
Hollywood
both kind of moved around a
stars
lot, so I'm
coming
sure
up at the
they probably sort of latched onto that a little bit. But yeah, so River Phoenix ODs on some sort of a drug cocktail. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, his heart stopped.
Yeah. So that's extremely unfortunate. Good.
So
dude.
there's kind of adversity, I guess. Number one, I mean, aside from his dad, not being in the picture, but that was kind of a slow burn, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But first major loss, your best friend, Hollywood.
Then
that's a tough one.
And shortly after that, he made not shortly after that, but a little while after that, he made The Matrix. And the reports on this one, from what I found, are kind of spotty on exactly what he did with the money, but ultimately he made about $110 million on that movie. Allegedly, he gave most of it to. I heard he donated a lot of it to leukemia research, but then in more stories I heard that, and this one seems to be more true, that he actually gave, I think, about $80 million of it to a lot of the the designers, the makeup artists, the special
he gave it
effects
back.
peoples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what had happened is that he got 10 million up front to do the movie, and then through some backdoor deals and stuff like that, he got some points on the back end, which ultimately netted him like another $100 million.
Very successful.
So basically, towards when the sequels and stuff were coming out, they were way over budget. So he ended up giving most of that money to the effects guys and costume people to be able to make the rest of the movies and stuff like that. So it was extremely selfless.
Well, and that's kind of a common theme to a lot of his movies. I know that in the Devil's the Devil's Advocate and in
Al Pacino.
Yeah, he gave up
Devil's
$2 million
Advocate
of his
and
salary so he could work
in the
with Al
replacements
Pacino.
in the replacements he took a much smaller paycheck so that Al Pacino and Gene Hackman could be in those two movies respectively. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was more to it and he just took less of a salary so other people could get more money. Period. Because he insisted that they don't lower the budget. They use that money to put back into the movie. To get some of the actors that he wanted to work with, but also to pay some of the other people who are less well paid.
Think what you will of his parts, y'all. Think what you will of him as an actor, but certainly as a human being.
he bought all
great.
of the stuntmen in the Matrix. There was like a 12-man stunt team. He bought them all Harley Davidsons. It's kind of a thank you.
He's a real big bike guy, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where was I going to go with this?
You're just saying how much you love Keanu Reeves and how he's the modern day Robin Hood.
He is very
Hollywood
much so.
Robin Hood.
Hollywood Robin Hood. And I mean, I think this video
Hashtag
is the
Hollywood
video, if you've
Robin
seen
Hood.
it, is it's a little, it's a little bit glorified. It says like, I don't wear nice clothes. I don't live in a nice house. Like, he doesn't live in a huge house. Apparently he lives in a $4 million house in Hollywood Hills. Not a bad area. It's not a very big house. So it's a modest house.
And in case you're thinking $4 million, that sounds like a huge house to me. $4 million
Yeah, it's
in
like
Hollywood
1,600 square feet in California.
It's 637 luscious square feet of all studio space.
I think it's a little bit bigger than that. I think it's a 2 or 3 bedroom. It's not a huge house.
That's some.
He lives in a tent on Leonardo DiCaprio's
he
property.
enjoys
Some
his
mighty
cars. I
expensive
mean,
real
he has a Porsche and a bunch of motorcycles. But I mean, he doesn't.
Well, he and a buddy of his started Arch Motorcycle Company too.
Right, and I mean that's something that he digs, and I think that's cool. And and it says like, oh, I just take the subway, like, and he does. That must be when he's in New York. I'm sure there's some public transportation in L.A.
That's the only way to transport yourself
Yeah.
to New York.
But I mean, he just seems to be real cool, like public figure. I mean, he doesn't travel around with bodyguards. He doesn't hesitate to say hi to people, give up his seat on the subway or the bus or whatever for, an old lady. Just, I mean, real cool. Back to kind of our story, JB.
And I was looking at that. Even if that's like, manufactured PR stuff, at least that's the message that he's trying to get out there.
Absolutely.
Well,
and I mean, according to records that I could find, he's worth about $350 million. I mean, he could live in an Oprah house. He could live in a $50 million mansion in Montecito if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, he could drive around in a Bugatti or a Phantom and have a driver and all this stuff. But I mean, that's just not his style. And I mean, we're not necessarily saying like he's the greatest man on earth or anything, but like he's just a good dude. And like I think he deserves his due. I think he gets a bad rap sometimes, for being Keanu Reeves, and yeah, we're doing it right now. But just a good dude.
So check this out. Yeah. So yeah, he has that whole dumb Keanu persona, but like, so he gave up, I think it was like $10 million or something to do the Speed 2 sequel, because he wanted to do Shakespeare in a Manitoba production of Hamlet.
That's cool.
So he's got the chops. He's doing the, he's an actor. He's deep.
He is. I mean, I mean, shoot, The Replacements is one of my favorite sports movies. I mean, I know that's not one of his like acting pinnacles or anything, but it's a fantastic movie. And so back to the struggle thing. I think the next thing, at some point, his little sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia, and I've read that she beat it, but then I've also read that she's still fighting it. So I don't know if she had a relapse. Or what that is, but at that time, that's when he started a foundation, and he did not attach his name to it. But in this foundation, basically, he set aside a bunch of money for them to, I believe they fund quite a few children's hospitals and a lot of disease research, including leukemia. And he doesn't want credit for it. He just wants them to kind of do what they do, and he thinks
Man, I love that.
yeah, I think that's very, very cool. And so, you know, he supported his sister through that, and I mean was publicly.
Well, and they delayed the shooting of some of the Matrix movies,
Yes.
or I think it was the sequel, for like weeks so that he could be there with her
Uh-huh.
and help her coalesce.
And shortly
stuff like
before that, he met the woman who he ended up falling in love with. Her name escapes me, Jennifer Syme, and she shortly around 99. So this was what the Matrix was before that, right? So this is right after the Matrix.
Matrix was 2000, or the Matrix Revolutions. Hold on, I got it right here.
Because I know the Matrix
Yeah,
came out when we
either
were in
way.
high school. So whatever.
Matrix
so shortly
was
after the
99,
Matrix, he
yep.
met this girl, or maybe during the Matrix, Jennifer Syme. I don't know if she was an actress or not. I don't know anything about
No,
her.
she was a production assistant.
Okay. So at that point, she got pregnant, and 8 months into that pregnancy, their daughter, who they named Ava, was stillborn. And I believe that the grief from that, it proved too much for them to endure. So they ended up breaking up, but they did stay friends. But then unfortunately, 18 months later, she was killed in a car crash.
Yeah.
And I mean, I never knew about this, never heard about it. But yeah, that's rough. So that happened, I guess, probably right after the Matrix. And then shortly around that same time is when his sister was, okay, so she went into remission in 1999. And all he really reported was that he had lovingly supported his sister through her illness. But yeah, like I said, as recently as 2015, she's still described as battling leukemia. So I don't know if she had a relapse or how that works.
Keanu Reeves.
So yeah, so I mean that's pretty much the adversity. I mean, I've watched a lot of interviews with him, and I mean he doesn't talk about a lot of this stuff.
He keeps it private, man.
Yeah, he keeps it private.
That's kinda
but
cool.
I
I
mean,
respect
also,
that.
I don't think he wants, he doesn't want credit necessarily for. He doesn't want people to feel sorry for him for his adversity that he's experienced in his life. But then also, I mean, he doesn't necessarily want credit for all the stuff that he's done that's cool. But
Let's be real. Like, there's so many people, and in Hollywood specifically, especially,
Yeah.
right, that want credit for everything that they do. And whether it's adverse, whether it's trying, whether it's not, whether it's just their lunch for the day, they want people to know about that stuff. They want to brag about it. They want to post it. They want to posterize it. Yeah. But it's just like for someone to remain private, or for them to want to be private, and for them to see acting as their profession, give it all they got when they're on stage, real Daniel Day-Lewis it, and then walk away. Like it's kind of special. Actually, it's so rare.
Extremely respectable, and I react well to
you
that.
don't know. I didn't know anything about Keanu Reeves beyond him and as an actor.
Well, here's the question for you guys, because I know what inspired the look up for Keanu Reeves. Like, how did you hear about him? What would make
JB, I
you-
think, saw the Facebook video, and then he told me about it, and then
So
I watched it.
what is this Facebook video
it's-
about?
it's
Maybe
just one of
everyone
the-
else can take
It's
a
one
look
of
at
those
it,
things
too.
where you kind of hear there's people in Hollywood, and especially at this point where everybody just wants everything broadcast everywhere.
Every
And
chair
then you
all
see,
the time.
You hear
25
somebody like Keanu is like, he's got a bunch of these sad Keanu and Bill and Ted, you realize that there's a lot more to the guy, and then you kind of start researching, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is a genuine normal guy, in a world like Hollywood that's completely chaotic. And I like that. I like the fact that there is somebody like that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I dig that, man.
Well, I think it's cool. Like, there's people who do a lot of good things. I mean,
Yeah, and we're
I
not saying
know
he's
one-
the only one. We're just
No,
the one
not
that,
at all. But I think I respect the ones who do it quietly even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing it
that- you know
for
they're
the
doing it
You've probably
for the right
seen
reasons.
some stuff with Denzel Washington. I mean, he's done some really good stuff, but I didn't really know much about it until my sister used to work for the Boys and Girls Club, and Denzel Washington's a huge donor to the Boys and Girls Club, and he does so much for them, but he never talks about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he would come to a lot of their stuff, and if you look him up on YouTube, he's done a lot of what do you call it, Steve? The graduation from college thing.
Commencement
ceremonies.
Commencement. Yeah, he does. He's wow. I'm an idiot this morning. Clearly, I must have not
Tim,
graduated from
that
college.
made
This is the guy who went
What do
through
you call that
commencement
thing
at
where you
San
get-
Diego State.
I have
Diploma.
commenced, but I do not understand commencement. I think it means to move on or something.
to commence, to complete.
But to commence was to start.
Hold on.
Let the games commence.
Let's Google this.
JB's googling
The
because I think
completion ceremony. Like, we're going to. I guess that could be conclude.
Well, maybe
don't
it's
know.
you're starting the life post
that's
college.
kind of that. That's what I was kind of thinking. If I'm right,
Yeah,
If
commencement
Steve's
is
right,
a
then I'm
beginning
wrong.
or a start.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
So-
yeah.
so
North
commencement
American, a
is-
ceremony in which degrees or diplomas are conferred on
Of course.
graduation students.
So I know that Denzel's given a lot of commencement speeches, and you can watch those, and some of those are really good. I mean, he's
He's a good speaker.
He's a good speaker. He's very motivational. But so Keanu certainly is an awesome guy. I think that we can, I went and checked all of this on Snopes, and it's all pretty much true. I mean, there's some factual inaccuracies, but all the overarching facts are true. And he just seems like a good dude, and $4 million in Hollywood Hills is really nothing. I mean, it's a pretty modest house, I would say.
If he
And I mean, he's not.
he
he's
could live
not
well
claiming-
beyond his means,
Well,
but
he's-
he chooses not to.
I think what we see in him is a good role model in a
Yes.
society that doesn't
And-
have a lot of good
but-
role models.
Yeah, and an actual role model. Like
Yeah.
he's doing it. He's not just talking about it. He's not doing commercials. And there's nothing wrong with I was ragging on Matt Damon earlier. I mean that Matt Damon does a lot of good things, and he uses his image to get people to be aware of things. And I
The
think
Stella
that's cool,
Artois,
Well,
clean
Stella
water
Artois.
Him
campaign.
and
has
Leonardo
partnered with
DiCaprio, all those
water.org.
guys were very, purpose
They're
driven.
very public about their causes. Yes. But that helps raise awareness. So I get it. Like there's something to be said for that too. But I think that here on the Project Reclamation podcast, we really do appreciate kind of the quiet heroes. And,
Absolutely.
And I think that the whole now. I mean, The Rock is loud as hell, and he broadcasts everything. But I'm sure he does a lot of good stuff that we don't know about.
Well, he
'cause his
does
whole
so
thing
much
is,
good that it's hard to keep track of it all. I'm
stay
sure,
humble and stay hungry. And I think that humble and hungry is something those are words that can kind of define like what Keanu seems to do with his life. And I think it's really cool when I hear about someone who I know who they are. Like I know Keanu. Like I liked his movies. I loved John Wick. I loved The Replacements. I loved a lot of his movies.
John Wick.
Yeah, my sister hated that movie, but I loved it.
Wow.
But it's just cool when someone can kind of someone so public can privately do things that really benefit people and not necessarily demand the recognition from it.
Yeah.
And I think there's
Or,
so
or
much
try
power
and stay
in
away
that.
from the recognition, which is
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think that I'm sure maybe I just wasn't paying attention some of the times, but I mean, it seems like he's had a lot of events in his life that could have absolutely been made public and gone whatever way they ended up going based on the media's perception. But he kind of keeps his private life out of the media, and I think that's very noble.
Yeah.
Another guy that did that, and maybe we can talk about this guy sometime too, and I'd need to do more research, but is Paul Walker. I mean, that's a guy who he had some adversity in his life, and it's sad that he died so young, but I mean, he was doing a lot of good things, and a lot of it was behind the scenes. I know a few people that know him, and he was just a really good dude, and it's sad that he left us before he had time to probably do a lot of the things he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's nice to spotlight somebody, like as you said, is Hollywood's Robin Hood. Get some credit where credit is due,
Absolutely.
or give some credit where credit is due.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is kind of a topic that we'd like to go more into. So,
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, tell us what you think. First
Yeah,
of
who
all,
you-
I mean,
who
is
you wanna
this
hear about?
inspiring?
Morgan
And who you want to
Freeman.
hear about? And I mean, we'd love to research people that we don't, that we want to learn more about people.
You've got like a hometown hero.
Yeah,
Maybe you're the hometown hero. You need a spotlight finally, and maybe you want to do it in a very, very private way too. But you also want to shed light on an issue, but you don't necessarily want the cameras. You don't necessarily want to blast it on the Instagram or the Facebook. Then let us know, man. We'll blast it for you.
We will blast your cause in the good direction.
yeah, absolutely. And we will shine some light on people who maybe don't shine lights on themselves.
That's right.
We are light shiners. Steve's actually holding a flashlight right now.
Yeah, in a dark room. We are bright lights through the darkness.
We should really, really pay this electricity bill.
I really should have paid my electricity bill, but actually,
Come
I
on,
think
tax refund. All right, everybody. Please follow us at projectxreclamation@gmail.com or any of our other social media platforms. Project Reclamation on Instagram, as well as Project Reclamation on Facebook.
And if you go to our website, like Steve just said, you can find all of projectxreclamation.com. You can find all of our links to social media.
Bro, I am telling you, I hope this thing goes worldwide. Project Reclamation is about self-improvement, self-bettering yourself. I mean, this is what it is all about, and it's about having a community of support. And I'm not going to lie to you, I hope that we can reach as far away as Spain, maybe even like the
So, do we know anybody in Spain?
Well, I don't know. I hope one day we will. Holy shit! Wait, I'm getting a visitor right now. Is that whoa? What is that?
Hello,
Do I hear-
Steve.
Oh my gosh! Is that Catalonian Steve?
I just flew in from the airport. I was coming in from Catalonia, and I flew into the LAX, and I just got the cab from the LAX to your place.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily know where Catalonia is. Is that near Barcelona?
It's in Spain.
Oh, but yeah.
But what is the capital of Spain? Is that Madrid?
Madrid.
But Barcelona.
What's Barcelona though?
Barcelona is like where they get that soccer team, right?
Barcelona is a city in Spain.
Wait, what did you say?
Did you say Barcelona?
Barcelona. You cannot say that?
It's Barcelona, right?
That's what I said, Barcelona.
Wait, now why did you fly into LAX then take a cab all the way from LAX down to San Diego? This is a long cab ride.
Because I am very stupid.
Oh, he's got the European money though. That's what happened.
That's right. If I car service in the LAX and it was an expedition.
What now service?
A car service.
Oh, car service.
Service. Yes, it was a car service and with a very nice expedition with a driver named Theo.
Wow. Now, to my understanding, just help me out because I didn't even know we reached the far stretches of Spain like that. Barcelona.
It's very big.
Man,
Barcelona, in Catalonia, the Project Reclamation podcast is very big into Spain.
Wow. Did they even translate it over? Or
yes. We speak the English.
Did someone do my voiceover? Do they do voiceovers though?
No.
It's like
no.
Wow, just straight up.
No, we want it straight from the horse's mouth.
Straight from what's a horse?
I know. He meant to say caballo.
A large four-legged animal.
Caballo's mouth.
Oh, caballo. Straight from the
caballo.
caballo's mouth. I don't know how to say mouth in Española.
Sí,
That's so crazy. Now,
boca.
Wait, this
boca de caballo.
I see that you're wearing your Barcelona jersey.
Sí. I am a big soccer fan.
You big soccer fan. I mean, what else are you wearing? My gosh, this is such a unique outfit.
These are my OP shorts.
Okay, wow, they're very high.
It gives me the proper ventilation.
And I understand that. I can see you have a lot of leg hair too.
Yes. No, I never met with Coach Hess.
Oh, sorry. JB and I had a football coach named Coach Hess, and he always wore OP shorts.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm sorry, I forgot that you don't know JB.
Sometimes my balls they hang out of the shorts.
Wow.
Excuse me. Shorts.
That's amazing. Huevos, pelotas.
Sí,
your pelotas.
Mis pelotas is not in my shorts.
Now, why did you decide to wear your soccer cleats? Like, you actually traveled in your soccer cleats to come here.
Because I am such a huge soccer fan.
Wow.
And my soccer cleats are the most comfortable shoes I wear.
Wow, that's very, very. You look very, very European right now.
You should have seen me in the airport though, because I was sleeping around on the slippery surface. I almost fell and hit my head.
Oh man, your soccer days, that's okay though. Those are called headers, and you're good at like doing those, right?
Yes, but I don't want to bounce my head off of the formicas.
Oh wow!
Oh, yes.
I'm glad you made it
Formicas is not a forgiving surface.
I'm glad you made a very, very specific type of hard surface stone. I'm glad you didn't use any kind of other like tile or something like that. That's amazing.
Or I guess it was formica or maybe the marbles.
Now you've obviously
marbles or saltillo tile.
Well, that would have been a little more grippy.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you brought some. What is it? It's like a potatoes dish. It's like papas fritas. Is that what it is?
It's papas con frijoles, con leche.
Wow, that is disgusting. Is that good?
Sí.
Does that even taste good?
Yes.
Well, and it's almost like
you
have this whole tapas arrangement.
It's my
I know you have this whole tapas
recipe.
arrangement spread out. Dude, this is crazy, man. Oh,
yes.
You obviously have a very, very strong body odor as well. What is that?
That is my new cologne.
Oh yeah, I can smell it. Like I can smell you coming up.
It is derived and distilled from the sweat of a bull's balls.
Wow.
Well, that just sounds like one of those fertility things that people use.
Well, there's very many pheromones in the bull's balls.
There is, and pheromones are very important.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I hear there's probably a bunch of cats like waiting outside for you as soon as you get off. I'm not gonna.
I do not like the cats.
Anyways,
I am a dog person.
No. Oh, you're a dog person. What kind of dogs do you like?
I like the schnauzers.
Oh, wow.
Oh, schnauzers. I like that. Now, is that like a standard schnauzer, like a mini schnauzer?
I like the
a-
Castilian schnauzers.
The
Oh, I
Castilian
didn't even know there
Schnauzer.
was a Castilian schnauzer.
Yes, we breed them in the Castellano region of Spain.
You know, now that I think about it, Castilian Steve, here's what it is. We've been talking about Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Jay, he's a very good guy. Very good guy.
Very good guy. You've heard of Keanu Reeves?
Jay,
back there.
geez, he is very big in that Spania.
Oh, do you guys have like the Spanish Matrix?
It's just the regular Matrix.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Wow, I didn't know if that would transfer over. Maybe it's like the Matrice or something like that.
No, it's
Who
just
knows?
a Matrix.
Oh, wow.
Just a Matrix. Well,
Just the
that's
Matrix.
great. Well,
I guess the Matrix exists everywhere, though. So,
you know
I mean,
what?
it would-
Because
it
we're
would exist.
all in the Matrix.
We're all in the
Well,
Matrix.
yes,
including
it is a
Castilian
simulation, don't you know?
Steve. Oh,
Yes, I
wow.
do know.
That is
At
so
least that's what I've been
crazy.
told.
Jace.
God, you know, Castilian Steve, you're one of the most honored guests that we have because you've traveled from so far away. I'm so happy that you're here. I couldn't express this to you more. Please take a seat.
Thank
we're just
you.
waiting for we're just waiting
We're
for
just
our
waiting for
friend to come
JB to
back.
get back.
Please don't mind if my balls come out of my throat.
Oh, we don't mind at all. I mean,
No.
this is a Pelotas friendly
It's a very
podcast.
Pelotas friendly
Very good, thank you.
All right,
Yes,
now you get over there. You unpack
Yeah,
already.
go unpack.
All right. Well, whenever JB comes back, man. that's
Maybe
gonna be
if JB
great.
comes back, we can get back on topic.
Man, I'm telling you, Project Reclamation is getting worldwide.
Dude, we are worldwide.
Worldwide. We got
it's so
Canada.
for some reason, all of our guest hosts are named Steve, though.
Well, I don't know. It's a very common name.
It is a very common name.
Sorry,
Yes,
guys,
you're
what's
right.
up?
Oh,
hey,
JB.
JB.
Again.
JB.
Oh,
you son
JB.
of a bitch,
You might
dude.
need to go see a urologist.
I'm telling you, man. You got to look into that, bro. I'm not
Have you
gonna lie to
have you invested in some milk thistle?
Wow.
I have milk thistle, and it's great.
Some palmettos.
Oh, okay,
some
great.
palmettos.
It's really hard to milk thistles, though. So
Well, that's why you have to pay so much money for it.
You know
Yeah.
that sound? You missed a very, very important
Yeah,
guest.
speaking of
Dude,
you
who
missed
was-
one
who
of our
was here
guests. It was Castilian Steve.
oh, Castilian Steve.
You'll never guess it. You don't even know where that Catalonian region
I mean,
is. But I'm telling you.
what is Castilian?
Yeah, bro. It's not just a soap. It is literally a region in Spain. Like you've heard of Barcelona, the soccer club.
Yeah.
You've heard of Lionel
Nope.
Messi.
What's the difference
no.
between Castilian and
okay.
Catalonian? Because didn't we just interchange those terms?
You know what? We don't know the difference,
don't
but
really
all
know the
we know
difference.
is that
You
JB Project
guys
Reclamation.
know way more about Spanish geography than I do.
Project Reclamation.
JB's like,
has
why are you guys
reached-
talking about Spanish geography?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I don't
even
even
know.
know
I
what
was
the hell
just
you guys
I
are
was just
talking
trying
about.
to take a piss, and
Yeah.
it took me a while because this milk thistle thing is not working out so well.
Project Reclamation is everywhere.
Yeah, I was milking my
It's
prostate.
Basically, all you need to know is Project Reclamation is absolutely
It's
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because we are just reclaiming lives around the globe.
Oh, you
And
know what?
it's-
We never asked him when he gets done unpacking. I gotta ask him, what kind of changes has this podcast made? In him
Oh yeah,
already?
and like with the whole Española community.
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you all the things that are affecting that community,
That's
and I
crazy.
literally cannot tell you because I do not know. I mean, I
And
literally
yeah,
just-
so and by the way, he knows that Keanu Reeves is a fantastic guy.
wow, that is what we call
It's like
closing
prestige
the loop.
worldwide, apparently.
That
Yeah,
prestige
I mean,
worldwide.
Apparently, you know what? Maybe everyone listening to this already knew this, and we're just late to the game.
We're late to the game. We're late
But
to the
that's
game.
okay though. I mean, because that's what we want. We want you guys to help us out.
Yep.
Just like we're gonna try and help you out.
We are imperfect, y'all.
It's the name of the
okay?
game here, guys.
We
It's
are not
helping
perfect.
people helping
Um,
people.
If you're
People
downloading this
helping
on
people.
Apple,
It's not like a Garth Brooks song.
iPodcast, whatever.
Sure.
We are not
I think
perfect.
so.
Sounds horrible. He should have stayed retired.
Wow.
Shout out to Garth Brooks. Sorry.
Our future music sponsor, Garth Brooks.
Future music sponsor.
He should have stayed retired.
Maybe he could sing our. He could sing our.
He's
our
gonna
new,
be
our
our,
new
he's gonna be
intro.
our artist in residence.
Yes, our
He's just
artist in
gonna live
residence.
in one of your bedrooms in your apartment.
He could
Is
live
he
in-
still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. He's actually doing well. Oh God. Future spot shout out to our future and still alive sponsor, Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, not a sponsor. We continue to have no sponsors on this podcast,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
wonder
okay.
why.
Yeah, I can't
Well, because
imagine why.
we turned down all those sponsors.
We do.
Yeah.
They've been
like
knocking on
like
our
Quaker
doors. but
Overnight
we're,
Oats.
Yeah.
Like
And
Keanu
Pax.
Reeves, we don't want to be corporate.
We exactly.
sellouts.
You know, we don't want to be a sellout.
Yeah,
Tampax
we want
and
we want
fish
this
and
organically.
shark
We
brain.
don't want people to tell us what to talk about.
You know. Later, Dodge trucks, Tampax, and Shark Brains. We are not a sponsor. We
We are not.
Shout out to Shark Brains, future anatomy sponsorship.
Yes.
There's
yes.
a similarity, y'all.
So
There's a
I think
similarity.
now might be a good time to turn to some quotes of the week.
Oh, here we go.
I think in the past I've been calling these quotes of the day, but that would really only make sense if we had a daily podcast, and we do not possess the time, nor
Well, hold
the...
on. If you're
Nor the
powering
motivation.
through that, yeah. If you're
Well,
driving
so
through,
we're just going to call it quote of the show.
quote of the show.
So I have two today because I couldn't decide. But these are kind of in the same vein of that overcoming adversity. This first one, I think I knocked her for having a $50 million home earlier in the episode, so I apologize to you, Oprah Winfrey. But we do like you. But this is an Oprah Winfrey quote, and the quote is, "Turn your wounds into wisdom."
Wow.
And I think that goes right along with our "if you lose, you learn."
Mm-hmm.
Learning is the name of the game. The second one, this is Jimmy Dean. I'm assuming that's the sausage guy.
I
Is
hope
that right?
it is. Well, it depends on
Well,
the quote.
yeah. Is there another
Depends on
Jimmy
the quote.
Dean?
I don't know. Like, who was he besides the sausage guy?
Well, hold on. Is the
An
quote
actor?
like nobody wants to know how it's made?
Jimmy
Everyone
Dean
just
was an
knows it's
actor?
delicious?
Yeah.
Was that the same as James Dean?
No.
But Jimmy Dean was also an actor.
Yes.
Wow, I am truly.
I believe
showing
he's the guy
my
that started
ignorance.
And a
It's a
musician,
Wonderful
maybe,
Life.
I think.
No, Jimmy Stewart.
Probably. So, anyways, here's a good Jimmy Dean quote. Well, you know what? His sausage is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I
Oh,
a
he's a
quote.
country singer. Duh.
Oh, okay.
Hello. I'm a
Wait,
Nashville
JB,
he's
how
the
do
guy.
you
guy-
not know that?
he's-
You're, does he live in Nashville?
He's the
He's
famous
dead.
left-handed
He died in
guitarist from Seattle.
2010.
Oh, wow. I would.
Oh, that's
I
Jimi
would have.
Hendrix.
I would have assumed that he died before that.
I don't know.
He must have been
was,
really old in 2010, right?
He was born in 1928.
Oh, yeah. Good. Cool. Well, shout out to you, Jimmy Dean. I'm going to read your quote now.
Oh, I thought
I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination.
Yeah, that's definitely not the sausage maker, but that's definitely a good.
How do you know that's not the sausage?
I don't
maker?
know, because when would he ever say that? And like when he's making some sausage, when it's just grinding
You
up some
make the
whole
sausage,
pork
dude.
parts.
You just put his name on it,
Well, that's true.
which
I
is
know.
everything we're not talking about this episode. Not putting your name on stuff, but hey, but
I would like to throw. I would like to throw in a quote here too, because
yes, I would love
the
another
great
quote.
Stephen Hawking passed away yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right. Well, he will have
Dude,
passed away
yeah, he
quite a
would
few
have-
weeks
he would-
ago when this
yeah.
episode airs.
He would have passed away, and rest in peace.
Well, yeah, he's dead.
So Stephen Hawking's recently passed away.
There we go.
What a wonderful
So,
life! What a wonderful man.
There's a huge amount of knowledge that came from him, but the one that kind of struck me was the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance; it's the illusion of knowledge.
So would that be like people that just assume things they read on social media are true and then
Or
don't
the
actually
people
research
who
stuff?
who think that they're knowledgeable.
I know.
I know you do.
I'm just saying, just because you hear something or read it on the internet does not make it true, or it means that part of that could be half of the story, but you might be missing half of the story.
Yep.
Before you go tirading or just like Keanu Reeves, we could have thought Keanu Reeves was just the guy who we thought he was, which
Just thought he was
whatever that is.
Bill or Ted.
He could have just been Bill or Ted or
I can't remember which
Neo.
one he was. That's why I'm saying
I can't either, honestly. Or Jimmy Falco or
Yeah. Or Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah. Exactly. God, there's another movie we didn't even mention. God,
Point Break.
fucking
God,
Point
like
Break.
one of the best.
Yeah, that is a fan. I never saw the remake.
Him and Peaceways,
Don't-
dude.
Peaceways.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peace Ways. There's
Rest in
another
peace.
great guy. Gotta miss him. Except when I think of Peace Ways, all I can think about is Unchained Melodies and like making play with
Roadhouse.
Steve.
Uh,
Roadhouse, dude, fantastic movie. How have they not
Yeah.
redone that movie?
I know.
Well,
Well, I
probably
don't think
doing
they can
it right
get
now.
away with it.
No, because it would suck.
Yeah, it would suck. It's
We're
about a
saying this,
bar.
and they're probably they're probably like in the middle of remaking it right now.
like,
And
they're
then-
like,
and
man, we
like,
can't wait to give a shout out in some subtle way to Project Reclamation.
one of the
You know, I wonder
production-
if people
Wait a second.
if people watched the original Point Break today, would they even recognize the president masks that they wore?
probably not.
Probably not. They'd be like, "Who are those people?" Like, well, that's
Who was it?
That's Richard Nixon
Reagan,
and Ronald
LBJ,
Reagan.
and Nixon.
Yep, I think
Yeah.
those were three of them. There may have been more.
I'm sure there was.
But nowadays it would be like a Trump mask and like a Barack Obama mask and
Yeah,
like a
Clinton.
GW.
George W. Yeah.
George W. don't send us your blankets or anything. Just send us your cash.
Yeah. I do a terrible George W.
Yeah, me too. We're horrible. So I believe that's about it,
That's all we
guys.
got.
If you have any celebrities who fit this mold of silent heroes, let us know. I'm thinking off the top of my head, I'd like to cover Denzel Washington and Paul Walker, but
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman is also a good one. But yeah, we would love your input on that, on topics and people to cover. Also, just regular show topics. If you guys, we're always looking for show topics. So if you guys have some show topics we have thought of, and we may dive into certain diets or certain exercises, but we want to bring you guys content that's interesting. And
we're bringing you variety.
We're happy to go into those,
valuable.
But we don't really want to go into that unless that's something that you guys find valuable. So I mean, we could totally do an episode on low carb diets. We have kind of toyed around with that, or on like Atkins specifically, or South Beach specifically, or paleo or keto, or exercise regimens like high intensity interval training or CrossFit or anything like that. We might cover like the cult of CrossFit. That might be interesting. But yes, show topics. At this point, you guys send us you guys have sent us some of your input. We'd love your input on show topics and all that stuff alike, as well as, any sort of celebrities that fit this mold of kind of a silent hero, just kind of good role model. I mean, they don't have to be anyone who's necessarily changing the world, but just people who kind of live it, people who kind of live that mantra of that sort of be humble, be hungry, stay humble, stay hungry kind of a mentality. And there's tons of people that I could think of we probably could cover. I have to probably go down to the gym and stalk Jocko Willink and see if he can come on our podcast. Although I did learn that Jocko Willink, the Jocko podcast, if you guys like motivation, he's a little serious, but he laughs too. He's a fun guy, I'm sure. He likes to surf and do stuff. But he actually records that podcast out of the gym. Victory MMA. Yeah. Him and the guy named Joe, who's super, super cool. And I believe Dean Lister might be involved in the project too, but they all own Victory MMA down on Midway. And I went to that gym years ago, and I think I was too fat and not self-confident to go to any of the actual fighting classes. But one of these days, the next week here, before we record the next podcast, I challenge myself to go to a jiu-jitsu class, because that's something I've always wanted to learn. And I'm sure I'll get my ass beat, but that's cool. I mean, that's, you got to turn your wounds into wisdom. I think someone named Oprah told me that. I will definitely lose, and I will definitely learn.
There it is. As we continue to do with this podcast.
Yes. maybe next time we record, Tim will be like, "Oh God, I'm so sore. I can't."
We're changing the name of this podcast to the Lose and Learn podcast.
The lose. We might need to change this Losing and Learning with Tim, Steve, and JB.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.
ProjectXReclamation@gmail.com. ProjectXReclamation.com. Give us your feedback. Interact with us.
That was my feedback. Stupid audio.
JB's
joke.
feedback is her. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, or 5 minutes, or whatever it is between now and when you listen to the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.